Hi again. I know it's been so long, but I wanted to say hi. It's been so crazy busy here because I went to the capital of Argentina, which is Buenos Aires. I went to visit some friends, including Ari, if you remember her from an earlier video, as well as to change my passport because here in Argentina, we as tourists can only be here for 3 months and then we have to change it or by going to another country, or we go through this really crazy process. Which, if I have to go through it sometime, I'll make another video about that. But since I haven't yet, I don't really know what I'm talking about. So, anyways, what I really wanted to say, first of all, is I love you and I miss you so much, Nolan. It's crazy. Um, but that's okay. And I can wait to see you again. And your mom is really good at putting up pictures of you on Facebook for me to see and enjoy. But let's see, today, Carlos and I were talking and we're thinking, we should talk about how different Buenos Aires is from Cordoba, especially because I was just there. He didn't get to come because he took up too much space in my bag, and I know you're pretty sad about that. Will you forgive me? Yes. Thanks. But yeah, Cordoba is so different from Buenos. It's ridiculous. And it's crazy because Cordoba is still 1-2 million people. Like, that's a really big city, right? But Buenos is about, I think, 12 million or so, which is bigger than Moscow. And I went to Moscow and thought that was huge. But they were actually kind of similar to me in their appearances. Anyways, the major difference is I have 1, 2, 3, 4 things I will say. Number 1, remember my little story about riding the bus here and how you have to have what's called a cospel, or more than one cospeles, in order to ride them? Well, there you can only pay with coins, which is really inconvenient for people who only have cash. And depending on how far you're going, you pay a different price, whether you're going 10 blocks or 20 blocks or 5 blocks. Because each of the buses are owned by the people themselves, and so they have their own way of charging things depending on where you're going. And it's crazy, and like you have to collect as many coins as possible just to go. And I was thinking I like Cordoba so much better for this reason. Number 2, the language is so much easier to understand there. You know what I was thinking? I was thinking maybe it's because they're in the city, so it's a little bit more modern, and the way that they talk is more clear. What do you think? Oh wait, you weren't there. He doesn't know. And here it's more country. I don't know. It's weird. Sorry. That's a firework. That happens all the time here, by the way. Which doesn't happen in Buenos. So there's a third difference, but not what I want to talk about. Third difference is neighbors. Oh my gosh, I love Cordoba because you can see your neighbors all the time and talk to them and have mate with them. And in Buenos, I never saw anyone in the different barrios or neighborhoods that we were in. It was so sad. Que triste. And then finally, the price. Wow. The price of living in the city is the same as price of living in the city, say Dallas, Texas. Where I lived in Colorado, Arvada, it was so much cheaper. But in the city of Denver, it's so expensive. And the same is true here. So some things around the world are the same. Kind of crazy, huh? All in all, I would say my favorite is definitely Cordoba. I love seeing people. I love how cheap things are. Vegetables, oh my gosh, you can get a monton or a huge amount of vegetables for maybe 10, 15 pesos, which is the equivalent of $3 or $4 or $5 in America. So, wow, I love it. I love the easier bus system. I love even having a little trouble understanding the language. Like when it's harder for me here, I know that when I go to other places, I'll be able to understand better, or at least that's the hope. So, that's my little quibble, probably the wrong word there, but that's my little story or account of Buenos Aires versus Cordoba. Hope you weren't too bored by that, but I just wanted to send you something so you knew that I didn't forget you. I never do. I think of you often. In fact, your picture is on my desktop right now. All right. Love you again. Mwah. Mwah. Have a wonderful day.